ordinal counting lesson, I would have the background information capture what we learned the day before, which would probably be the counting to 20 with the manipulatives and with the tally marks like in the rationale counting lesson. And then for the objective, I would have today we are going to learn to count things in a specific order or put things in a specific order if they are rearranged out of order. And then I would ask students what the relevance of this is and like why it's important. So I would have them come up with some of their own ideas. I'd let them share with their table partner, and then I would have each table share what they came up with. So like the think, pair, share idea. And then I would give my own reasons, and like some of them could be like recipes, like you have to do something first, otherwise your recipe is not going to turn out right. Races, when people go racing, like you have to know like who got first, who got second, and who got third in order to give them the correct prizes. And then like reading pages in a book, like you want to go in order, even the numbers at the bottom of the page go in order. Or like a series of books. If you're reading like a trilogy, you want to read the first one and then the second one and then the third one, because if you read out of order, then you'll be confused. So in all of these, like if you don't go in order, then it's not going to work out. And then I would follow into that with like a math thing, like multiplicate or like division, or like the order of operations. Like you have to do this first, even though it doesn't come first in the problem. Like you have to do this first in order for you to get the right answer. And then I'd have students, I would demonstrate it more. So I'd choose 3 students, student 1, student 2, and student 3. The first student, I would whisper in their ear to walk, and then the second student, I'd whisper in their ear to walk slow motion. And then the third student, I'd whisper in their ear to jog. And so I'd tell the whole class, all right, these students are going to race, and the finish line is going to be right here. And I would just have it be like 10 feet away, not too far, just to keep everything safe and make sure students don't hurt themselves or break anything. And so then I would yell, okay, ready, set, go. And so they'd be in order, like the first student walks, the second one is in slow motion, and the third one jogs. And so then when they finish, I would have their peers, the class, put them in order from who got first, who got second, and who got third. And so that's just like a good visual for the students to see. And then so I'd move from the demonstration to the guided practice. And for the guided practice, I might have like a recipe. So I'd give students a recipe that they would have to read, just a very simple recipe, and it would depend on like the ages of the students. And so I'd have them put a number 1 next to the first thing that they have to do, and then a number 2 next to the second thing, and then a number 3 next to the third thing, and I would walk around and make sure that they had the correct answers. And then at the end, I would come together as a group, and I would, a whole group, and I would have students share what they got, and how they got that and why, and then what would happen if we didn't follow the recipe's order. And then for the independent practice, I might have students do it in pairs if it's harder, and then after the pairs, I'd have them do it by themselves alone. But one of the things I came up with for the pairs reading would be like, I would give them a map. I would give one student a map, or the pairs, I would give them a map of a park or something. And then there would be like all these little trails and all these little sites and signs on there. And then I would give another student directions. And so, or both the pair directions. And so I would have them figure out, like, I'd tell them where they're starting, and then with the map, they would figure out like what the ending point is by using the directions and the steps on the other sheet. And so then at the end of that too, we could come together as a group, and we can figure out like where we started, and then like what the order was with the directions and the steps, and if somebody took a wrong turn, like where did they end up, kind of thing. And so I thought that would be kind of fun, a fun little activities, and then we could go from that into the actual like learning the order of operations and why you have to do the parentheses first and then the multiplication and division and then the adding and subtracting and stuff. So that's what I would do for the ordinal counting. And I think it would be a lot of fun.